What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. The very first time that I heard Marc E. Bassy's solo material was his East Hollywood EP back in 2015. I thought then that there was a lot of potential in him and that he could go far. In the time since, he's been on the road touring, he's been putting out some singles here and there, and working on what would become his debut album. Gossip Columns is a nice mixture of R&B and pop with more leaning towards the latter. I feel like Marc is just one hit away from really skyrocketing and hitting like that radio, because clearly there's songs on here that feel like they're ready to hit the radio. And he has a platinum single already that did really well in 2016, You and I, featuring G-Eazy. And so hopefully that one of these records, which one of them I'm going to talk about in a little bit, hopefully one of them gets pushed to radio. And also I have to note that Marc worked with a nice cast of guest features. Never once did I feel like he was trying to force it, or he had somebody on this album where it was like a creative stretch. No, everybody just felt natural, from YG to Kehlani to G-Eazy, of course. Now let me talk about my favorite song, starting off with Plot Twist featuring Kyle. Marc E. Bassy is a player, and players don't want to fall in love. In a predictable twist that a lot of movies and even some songs have covered, he does fall in love. And I like that the hook is really catchy. I think that's what drew me to the song, and then diving more into the concept. And so on the hook, he talks about how he never thought that this would happen. He thought one kiss wouldn't turn into 100, and eventually they're saying, I love you. And so it's a nice record. I like it. It's the one that I feel should be the next single push to radio. Having Kyle, who is having a really strong year in the last 2 years, Kyle has been really on his A game and getting that push, being all over radio, having, a hit single with I Spy. And so having him on the record is pretty much like the icing on the cake for this to go to radio. My other favorite song is called Heroin. I really respect Marc's lyrics as well as his ability to tell a story. Heroin starts off with this very soothing guitar. Like, it's almost like the opposite of what you will end up hearing with this song, because the song is anything but soothing. It's a lot more intense, and I love the concept, which goes back to why I said I really respect his storytelling abilities. He talks about cheating and, going to the club and doing drugs, and it's just a great song overall. I like that there's sort of like a double entendre in the title, in the song's title, because it's heroin with the E at the end to symbolize a female hero, but it's also, when you say it out loud, it's heroin. And on the song, it's discussed about drug use and, how in the hook, you are the hero and she's your heroine. And so it's got like that double entendre vibe to it. Again, it goes back to Marc really putting his creative juices into this record. My two honorable mentions real quick were You and I featuring G-Eazy. Now, I don't even really remember this song from 2016. I noticed that it went platinum and that it's been out, but I might have heard it once or twice, but really hearing it again on the album, yeah, this one, it shows why it was able to go platinum, why it was a big deal for Marc E. Bassy. My other favorite record is called Bondage, and just like my other favorites, I really like the concept of this one. My least favorite song is called New Teen. Now, this is something that I imagine Marc would write for like Drake or something. It just doesn't feel like a song that I want to hear. Now, I'm not dishing out bad vibes on the entire song, because some of the record is good. I'll give it that, but I think it's the hook that really takes me out of it. He says, I got a new teen, I love her like butane. Like, that's just real corny to say, and I don't know, it's a part of the hook that sucks. Now, once you get into the verses are solid. It fits into the album. I'll give him that much. But overall, I just really wasn't a big fan of this record. 2017 has been a great year for R&B. Marc E. Bassy really brought it with Gossip Columns. But at the same time, I also feel like the album could have been shorter. 16 songs is a little too much. I think what I liked most about the East Hollywood EP was that it was 9 songs, and these all felt like Marc's best efforts. Now, I'm not saying that there's more bad songs on Gossip Columns than good, because there's definitely not. But I think if it were to be shorter, maybe between 9 and 11 songs, there's some songs that just don't have as much of an impact as others. And so I necessarily wouldn't say, like, put them on the cutting room floor. No, I think maybe dropping an EP with them down the road, or even just like, randomly putting songs out just randomly. But I get it. You want to have as much music as possible. You want to have what you feel is great. And for me, though, I just feel like a less is more situation could have been what we got on Gossip Columns. So those are my thoughts on Marc E. Bassy's debut album, Gossip Columns. After you listen to this album, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.